Guys, today, the high today here in central Indiana is going to be 68 degrees. 68 degrees. It's nice and sunny though, so that helps. But I gotta get my sugar snap peas in the ground like fast, because those things are huge in the little containers where I started them 3 weeks ago exactly. 3 weeks ago I got those seeds in the containers that I'm about to show you, and they have been growing amazing. They have been outside. I have been giving them water here and there, but I do gotta get some of these port tomatoes. Some of these port tomatoes are just done. They're just done for the season, and I gotta get them out of here. And in that space, for the ones that have trellises, I wanna get the sugar snap peas that I'm about to show you here in a sec. When I planted this tomato in this container, this Dr. Witch's tomato, I buried it very deep. Like, it's really, really deep in this container. So I am not going to even try to dig it out, to dig the roots. What I'm going to do is I am going to prep this soil, the potting mix that I have here. So whatever mass of roots that are happening in this container, I am just going to leave them there, and I'm just going to work the soil enough just so that I can plant my sugar snap peas. And I am going to add some fertilizer, whatever I have on hand. I just happen to have Garden Tone from Spoma. And then this container is ready for some of the plants that I have. Let me show you. These are the sugar snap peas that I started on August 22nd. These are the ones that I soaked the seeds, and I let them be there for a few days. I let them germinate, and I put them in these containers, in these small 2.5-inch containers from Bootstrap Farmers. And I know I'm gonna have a heck of a time separating these guys. Like, I'm not going to separate them from the containers, but just separating you know, the plants that are growing, weaving into each other. They have been here for 3 weeks exactly. This is regular potting mix. I didn't add any fertilizer or anything. I let the containers outside, and I have them in these trays, and then underneath the tray I have a regular tray with no holes to kind of capture the water. And you can tell that it has been raining, because look, there is plenty of water there, and that's fine. I was worried that these tiny containers were going to dry it up a little bit, but as you can tell, they are gorgeous, gorgeous plants. And these are the ones that I am going to put in my garden today. So if you're wondering if I am going to try to bury every single plant here from the whole tray, no. I am just trying to get a few here, because I want to see how they do this late in the season in containers, transplanted. I have never done sugar snap peas in the fall. Look at that. Look at the roots, you guys. Look at that. Isn't that wild? These are amazing. They have been here for 3 weeks. So how many am I gonna put here? That's the question. I don't know. That's normally my answer. I don't know. If you guys wanna watch that video where I started these seeds, gonna leave that link in the video's description. And by the way, if you're new here and are often wondering about links and whatnot, I do my best to add links to either videos or resources or products that I'm using in that specific video. So I think this is good. I mean, I don't know, maybe one more. I think this is good. I think this is good. So I have about 7 of these 2.5-inch containers in this huge container with sugar snap peas. Some of these containers had two plants. Some of these had 1 or 2, and that's fine. I am going to keep watering this container. I am going to not add any fertilizer until maybe here in a month. The days are definitely starting to get cooler, so I know that these plants are going to be just loving it here. This year has been really bad for tomatoes, at least for me here. We got some early days with lots of heat, and don't get me wrong, we get days like that here in central Indiana in the summer, but it doesn't normally happen until the end of July and beginning of August. That's when the 95 plus temperature days arrive. But this year was different. We got some crazy heat waves in May, and my tomatoes had just been outside for a week or 2. They weren't even established yet, and that really killed a lot of my tomatoes. I had about 42, I can't remember right now, tomato plants in the ground, and I probably lost half of it. And the rest, the ones that were left, were definitely struggling. Nothing was producing during those temperatures. The flowers that were just popping out were just dropping. I didn't have a lot of success with tomatoes. I did have enough because I did have some 20-some tomato plants left. I did get tomatoes here and there, plenty enough, to make meals, but I didn't have enough for canning or for saving, which is what I really wanted to do this year, just like last year, but it didn't happen. And I mean, that's okay. Some years are better than others, right? I keep telling myself there is always next year. I am thankful, I am blessed to have a space where I can have enough plants where I can just get whatever amount of tomatoes that I can get, and that's fine. I'm thankful for that. Hopefully you can see me. I am trying this new camera. Hopefully you guys can see me. All right, so basically right now what I'm doing is that I am removing the dead plants. These were the ones that were left. And I am just getting my tomatoes that are good to save. But I'm getting rid of the plants because I want to use this trellis, this cattle panel trellis, for the sugar snap peas. It is so loud. There is like some sort of construction on the street going on. It's just so loud. So I am going to do the same thing that I did with the containers. I am just going to clean this area of weeds. I added compost at the beginning of the season here in this bed. And then I have been adding fertilizer to my tomatoes. Now, while I have been struggling with my big slicers, big huge tomatoes, my cherry tomatoes, on the other hand, they do not care. They had been producing like crazy. I have a favor that I'm about to show you, which is right behind me. It's on the raised bed right behind me, and it's literally the green wall that you see behind me. That's all cherry tomatoes. That's sun sugar cherry tomatoes, and I have been harvesting from the back because it's easier access to them. So let me take you back. This is the back of that bed. I mean, all of these are cherries, you guys. Isn't that amazing? I have a total of 4 sun sugar cherry tomatoes planted in this bed. I didn't do anything special. I planted them at the same time that I did my rest of my tomatoes, and I think I gave them fertilizer twice since they have been here. And like I mentioned, I did add compost to my raised beds, so that's why I don't worry about adding too much fertilizer after that. The plants are doing amazing. I mean, they are literally full with cherries. So I am going to finish picking all of these tomatoes because it seems that we are getting rain later this evening, and these tomatoes are going to crack if they get too much rain. So I am going to spend a lot of time here today harvesting these tomatoes, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you haven't, I would really appreciate it if you consider subscribing today. Thanks guys, until the next time.